Do the Georgia Bulldogs have a guy on the roster who can replace Azeez Ojulari? That's the biggest question I have for the Georgia Bulldogs on defense going into the 2021 season. And to be honest, I don't think they do. I don't think they have a guy who can replace Azeez, and I'm going to explain why in this video. But the biggest reason, and the biggest reason why he was picked by the New York Giants in the second round last month, is because of his ability to make big plays in the biggest moments. I saw him do it over and over again at Marietta. He did it in Georgia in just really 2 years, and that's why he was picked. GM Dave Gettleman of the Giants basically said to reporters during the draft, actually, that yes, he's strong, he's athletic, he's got great instincts, but we didn't pick him for that. We picked him because he makes big plays in big moments and did it multiple times for Georgia. Obviously, his last game, the Peach Bowl, Georgia was down double digits to Cincinnati in the second half, and it was Azeez Ojulari's sack, which forced a turnover, which got Georgia back into the game, and they really took care of business after that. That was a game-changing play, and without Azeez Ojulari, Georgia loses to Cincinnati. There is no doubt about that. He came up with a big play there, and then, of course, at the end of the game with the sack safety on his final play as a Bulldog to win the game. Go back and remember the Tennessee game. Georgia was down by 4 to Tennessee in the second half. Early in the second half, and who comes up and makes a play? Azeez Ojulari. Not only did he get the sack, but he forced the fumble and recovered it as well. That play changed the game. Georgia probably would have won the game somehow, some way anyway, because Tennessee was not very good at all. But that was the play that changed the game. Of course, Georgia went on to kind of whoop their butt the rest of the game and blow them out, but it started with that play. If you remember against Alabama, first play from scrimmage, Azeez Ojulari almost breaks Mac Jones in half, forces a bad pass, Richard LeCounte intercepts it, and boom, you've got a turnover on the first defensive play, setting up the game. And of course, Georgia didn't win the game, but Azeez played very, very well, and he did it that first play. And then you have the Mississippi State game. Georgia was up 7, I believe a minute and 23 left to play in the game. Mississippi State is driving, they're on their own 45, 4th and 5, game on the line. They have to convert in order to keep the game alive. And of course, Azeez Ojulari is the guy who comes through, gets the sack, and basically ends the game. I wrote multiple times last year that he was the closer, right? We've seen the show with the woman deputy blanking on her name. She always makes, closes the deal, gets the bad guy. Michael Jordan always closes the game out. Kobe Bryant always closes the game out. Tom Brady. I'm not trying to compare Azeez to those guys, but that's what he does. He closes out games. He did it over and over and over again. And I don't think they have a guy on this roster who can do that. Now, can they replace his 8.5 sacks? Probably, but can they make a big play when it's needed? With the game on the line, they have to come up with a stop, 3rd and long, can someone get to the passer like they're supposed to? He did. Adam Anderson, probably the best pass rusher on the team right now. He has proven that he can get after the quarterback, but can he do it in the same way, in the same fashion as Azeez did? We know he's not a complete player like Azeez because I don't think he can stop the run and hold the edge like Azeez did. Now he weighs a lot less. They're completely different players. Adam Anderson, long, athletic, and lighter, probably a little faster, where Azeez is a complete edge defender, can stop the run on the edge, but of course get after the passer as well. So as it relates to getting after the quarterback, getting those sacks, Adam Anderson's probably going to be that guy, even though he's not the player that Azeez was. But if I'm picking someone to replace him and make those big plays in big moments with the game on the line when they need it most, Adam's probably going to be that guy. Ideally, it would be Nolan Smith, the former 5-star, top-ranked prospect out of high school. He's a guy who I thought would have more than 5 career sacks going into his junior season. But he hasn't shown the ability to do that either. He had 2.5 sacks last year, 1.5 against Arkansas, 1 against Missouri. That was it. If he wants to be the player that we all think he is, and if he wants to be a guy who's picked first in the NFL draft in 11 months, he's going to have to, increase that sack number, do better against the run. If you watch G-Day, he got swallowed up multiple times in the run game. Xavier Truss kind of blew him out of the water a few times. They didn't run the ball successfully or very much at all during G-Day, but when they did, they were running it to Nolan Smith's side. He is not a complete edge defender right now. He's still a pass rushing specialist who can only get to the quarterback in 1 or 2 ways, and that's using speed. So it's hard for him to replace a guy like Azeez Ojulari when he's not as consistent. Azeez was consistent, and was very consistent with the game on the line when he needed to. Nolan Smith has not shown that he can do that just yet. Maybe third year's a charm. I think Georgia and Kirby Smart need it to be. But if we're talking about a guy who's coming in and making plays, I don't know if they can replace Richard LeCounte and his ball skills back in there in the secondary. And I don't think that they are going to be able to replace a guy like Azeez Ojulari, who, even opposing offenses knew, hey, we got to block this guy big time now. The game's on the line. We need to pick this up. We're going to be passing. This guy's coming after us. And more often than not, he gets there. When everyone knows he's coming, he still gets there. So I don't think Adam Anderson has shown the consistency just yet to make those sacks in big moments. He was great against Auburn, had a couple late sacks there. And occasionally he will get to the quarterback when he needs to. But he'll probably do that a little more since I think he'll be playing a little bit more this year. Remember, Johnson transferred to Florida State, the other edge defender that they had, the JUCO kid from Oklahoma. He was a guy who I thought would make a big difference in this 2021 season. So he's gone. Azeez is gone. It really is going to come down to Adam Anderson, Nolan Smith, maybe Mikael Sherman off the edge. Maybe one of the younger guys steps up. But at the end of the day, they need a guy who can make the big play, make the sack when it matters most. He did it over and over and over again last year. Should have been a first rounder, no doubt about it. But he slipped to the second. The Giants were thrilled to have him because he makes those type of plays. Not everyone can do that. You can be a pass rusher, but not get to the quarterback on a big third down when it matters. Azeez was that guy, and I'm just not sure that they have that type of guy on the roster right now. Nolan Smith needs a big year. If he wants to play on Sundays, dude, you better have the film. You better get to the quarterback. Adam Anderson, got to be a complete player. We know you can get to the quarterback. Can you make a tackle in the open field? Can you cover tight ends down in the middle of the field? And can you set the edge from the outside linebacker spot? So there's still some question marks about both of those guys that Azeez didn't really have in my mind. But I guess that's a question that we're only going to find out in the fall. But can they replace him? They're sure going to try. Someone needs to replace Azeez, but I'm not sure that he is a guy that is replaceable in 2021. What are your thoughts? I want to hear it in the comments section. Am I an idiot? Probably not. But if you think I am, tell me. I want to see your thoughts in the comments section. Can Georgia replace Azeez Ojulari? Is there a guy on the roster who can do what he can do or did what he did in Athens? Let me know. And yeah, thanks for watching this video. As always, head on over to Dawg Post for all the latest and greatest on your Georgia Bulldogs. Thanks for watching. I will see you over on the website.